I'm James Parker, and this is Florida Story. Thank you so much. For our first Florida story, we're going to Fort Myers, Florida, and I'm trying to understand more of the details of the story so when I pass them along, I don't sound completely clueless. But on this one, I am pretty clueless. The headline says, Fort Myers man arrested after disrespectfully consuming key lime pie. I'll read that again. Fort Myers man arrested after disrespectfully consuming key lime pie. Oh, you didn't have to do that again. His roommate went into the fridge and ate an entire key lime pie that the Florida man had gotten for his mother's birthday. And when the guy wakes up from his nap, he's all mad. They get in an argument. He throws 2 glasses of water on him. They call the cops. The 2 guys explain their side of the story. And this guy ends up getting arrested. I guess technically that's like a battery of some sort. Really? Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
All right, for our next Florida story. This is in Medley, Florida. A 24-year-old man was arrested for stealing a couple vehicles and some soft drinks. We have the report from Channel 10.
Here's a closer look at him. Detectives tell us he did admit to entering those homes and stealing that car. He even admitted to stealing another car, a Maserati, which was found parked at a nearby motel in Fort Lauderdale, where he had been staying.
All right, there's some interesting things to break down here. Number one, why are you the guy who's also stealing soft drinks? You're stealing BMWs and on top of that, Maseratis. Maseratis? Really? You don't think anyone's going to notice when there's a Maserati parked at a motel? Notice that was an M, not an H. They're at a motel, and you can afford a Maserati, but you can't afford to rent a room with a hallway in it. Boy, I really hope they get to the bottom of those soft drinks.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
For our next story, the honor goes to Altamont Springs. What did you geniuses do over there at McDonald's?
24-year-old Amari Hendricks, a fast food manager herself, it turns out, thought she was entitled to a free cookie. Next thing McDonald's workers see is that Hendricks allegedly
has a handgun while she's in the drive-thru, so they call 911.
The report says a worker sees Hendricks insert a magazine into the handgun and rack the slide. Then hears clicking sounds associated with someone chambering around. The report says Hendricks did point the firearm towards the drive-thru window, one worker saying he could see down the barrel of the firearm.
All right, not to be, the bleeding heart, overly sensitive guy in the room here, but I do feel a little bit of empathy for the woman's situation. I get screwed, and you do too. Admit it. You get screwed in the drive-thru line all the time. And while I don't recommend anyone go out and start brandishing handguns in the drive-thru line every time there's an error in the order, it's nice to remind the world out there that sometimes there are negative consequences if you don't do your job good. I'm not a crazy person, but other people are crazy. And you know what? Maybe this let them think twice about bagging up that food without, double checking the receipt and making sure everything's in it. Because if we have a couple more crazy Florida women like this, I bet you all of us benefit because fast food errors would drop precipitously. And you know what? At first, I was kind of with her too. Maybe she just wanted to load her gun, and maybe she wanted to rack it and chamber around. But when she pointed in the drive-thru, that's clearly going too far. And I do kind of like the idea that she herself is a fast food manager, which while I don't approve of her methods, I bet you she runs a pretty tight ship over at whatever chain she's in. I bet you they don't make a whole lot of mistakes in their drive-thru, do they?
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
For our next Florida story, we have a cute little good news story. This is in a place called Blue Spring State Park. And one of the magic things about this is it's a manatee habitat. It's one of the largest national park or state park habitats. And this is where if you find a manatee that's starving or beached or sick or something like that, and you call the Florida Animal Rescue, they will go pick it up, nurse it back to health, and release it at Blue Spring State Park. And this year broke a record. I'm proud to announce that Florida rescuers released an unprecedented 12 manatees into the wild in one day this season. Well, 13 if we count your mom. Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
All right, our final Florida story is another doozy. We have 2 Florida paramedics out of Clearwater who go to a call, and it's just some old dude in some apartment who had what looks to be a heart attack. And they get there and they check his vitals, and nope, no good. The policemen show up because the firefighter medics got there first, these two paramedics. And the cop goes, what's going on? And they're like, well, we've already pronounced him dead. So if you could just radio in the corner and just watch him until he gets here. We've done all we can do. So the paramedics leave. The cop's chilling, just waiting on the corner to get there. You know, slow day. Good for him. And he's sitting in the room with the dead guy. And maybe he's not so dead. Maybe he's not dead at all. It looks like his chest is he breathing? Oh my God, I think he's breathing. And so what we have here is the cop gets on the radio and he says, hey, I think you guys might need to turn your ambulance back around and come over here because this guy is, what's the term from Princess Bride? He's just mostly dead. I don't think he's all the way dead. I think he's just mostly dead. Either the paramedics got it wrong and he wasn't dead at all ever, and I don't know if they're just lazy or whatever, but the Florida people are investigating this now. These two paramedics have been suspended because, hey, maybe he wasn't breathing for a second and then he just magically restarted. I mean, I guess that's a possibility, but they're looking into it. And so I was thinking either the paramedics got it wrong or maybe in Florida we have the second coming of Jesus. Could be. I don't know. I mean... You have a better explanation? Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. What is it?
Florida Stories is produced by Spring Rock. Follow me on Twitter at Florida Stories J. I'm James Parker, and this is Florida Stories.
MortgageGumbo.com. 8+ years of providing education and options to folks just like yourself on your most valuable asset, your home. Hey, if you're new to the show, welcome. Welcome to the Gumbo Nation. This is your home show. We promise to give you facts, data, in a delivery method that's, I would feel safe to say, unconventional. You could visit the home away from the show is MortgageGumbo.com. Dad Cam.